side.
Let me explain something to you. These people today don't know what a strike is.
Right.
When my men hit the streets, from Maine to Texas, every single port will lock down. You know what's going to happen? I'll tell you. First week, be all over the news every night, boom, boom. Second week, guys who sell cars can't sell cars because the cars ain't coming in off the ships. They get laid off. Third week, malls start closing down. They can't get the goods from China. They can't sell clothes. They can't do this. Everything in the United States comes on a ship. They go out of business. Construction workers get laid off because the materials aren't coming in. The steel's not coming in. The lumber's not coming in. They lose their job. Everybody's hating the longshoremen now because now they realize how important our jobs are. Now I have the president screaming at me, I'm putting a Taft-Hartley on you. Go ahead. Taft-Hartley means I have to go back to work for 90 days. That's a cooling off period. Do you think when I go back for 90 days, those men are going to go to work on that pier? It's going to cost the company's money to pay their salaries. Well, they went from 30 moves an hour maybe to 8. They're going to be like this. Who's going to win here in the long run? You're better off sitting down and let's get a contract and let's move on with this world. And in today's world, I'll cripple you. I will cripple you, and you have no idea what that means. Nobody does.
Are you worried that this strike is going to hurt the everyday American, the farmers that need to reach the export market?
Listen, now you start to realize who the longshoremen are, right?
Nobody cares.
People never gave a shit about us until now, when they finally realized that the chain is being broke now. Cars won't come in. Food won't come in. Clothing won't come in. You know how many people depend on our jobs? Half the world. And it's time for them and time for Washington to put so much pressure on them to take care of us, because we took care of them and we're here 135 years and brought them where they are today, and they don't want to share. And I'm done.
Just one question. What will it take to get you back into negotiations? What do you want to hear?
Oh, here, you want to hear it? $5 across the board for 6 years. I want all my container royalty, 50-50 split. It all comes back to the island where it used to be. What was the other one?
Absolutely no automation.
And automation, stronger language. To get me back to the table. If I don't get that, I'm not coming back to the table. And if we have to be out here a month or 2 months, this world will collapse. Don't blame them. Don't blame me. Blame them.
We start the top of the hour this morning with a Fox 5 News alert. Thousands of dock workers are on strike, causing ports across the U.S. to close.
Yeah, in total, 36 ports shutting down, including the port of Baltimore. Melanie Allenwick is there right now live, and she appears to be telling us since this morning that it's been heating up there, and it hasn't been a pleasant sight for many folks, especially the drivers coming in.
We have just entered October, and you know what that means. That means the October surprise. Now, there is some confusion when it comes to the October surprise because some people believe that the world is going to end, or if the world doesn't end, then nothing happens. But no, that's not what it means. What it means is something big happens politically where it affects all of us. I was getting those comments where people were saying, well, Minutes of Horror, if nothing happens, are you going to delete your channel? If the world doesn't end, are you going to delete your channel? You know, those kind of comments. Well, I mean, things have been happening in September. A lot of events have happened at one time. So going based off that estimation, I wouldn't say nothing at all will happen in October. But again, it would not involve the world ending. Sorry if I sound a little different, or like I said in my last video, if I sound hoarse or anything like that. I'm still coming down with something. I feel really, really bad. Matter of fact, I might have to take a few days off from recording. There's just so much going on in the news, I don't want to miss anything. I was out of town over the weekend, and almost everywhere I went, restaurants, stores, no matter where I went, people were clearing their throats, they were coughing. So more than likely, something is indeed going around. But going back to this October surprise, we really could be looking at it with this port strike. I do believe there are still people out there that do not realize just how important and serious this is. There are powers, there are certain organizations that really want to cripple the dollar, not just the dollar, but also other currencies, to introduce the digital currency and the digital IDs. What's very interesting is that this strike comes directly after the World Economic Forum and the United Nations had that meeting to speed up the 2030 agenda. And one part of the 2030 agenda is to introduce that digital dollar, that one world currency, that one world government. You think this is just fear mongering. You think this is just fear because that's what I constantly hear. But no, this is information, and you can look this up yourself. You can go to the United Nations 2030 Agenda website where they lay out what they have in store for the future. They also say we need 7 years of accelerated transformative action to achieve these policies. These policies they lay out for every country around the world to follow. But going back to the strike, this walkout could cost the American economy roughly $5 billion a day. Now, again, you're going to hear some people say that this is not going to happen. Nothing ever happens. But if you go back to the C-19 and the lockdowns and the inflation that happened after the lockdowns, that inflation still has not really come back down. We are still feeling the effects of the C-19, so don't let anybody fool you into believing that something like this won't happen. This has been something that was planned. This is something that was scripted. Like I pointed out on the 2024 Economist magazine cover, that was created back in November of 2023. They had shown us on that cover the economy crashing, but linked right next to the economy crashing was a cargo ship. You cannot make this up. This is all pre-planned. There was an update today that the union was offered a nearly 50% increase in wage, and they turned it down. The goal here is not to get more money. The goal here is to cripple the United States economy.
I come here for 7 years. I pull the trash and the debris out of here for the Port of Baltimore, and the officer told me to come back and go in there to get out of my way, and they attacked me and broke the windshield and serrated my face. Look at it.
Now, we don't know exactly what happened. The union members said the truck hit one of the picketers as they swarmed around it. We did see an ambulance come to assist, and we know that that gentleman did speak with police officers. Again, we'll let the authorities sort out exactly what happened there. Now, 45 members of the International Longshoremen's Association, 45,000 members. That's a big difference in a number, isn't it? They have all been asking for a 77% pay increase over 6 years and a ban on automation at their ports, a threat to their jobs, they say.
There is also a bigger picture here in the fact that it's not just about money, but these longshoremen, this union, does not want any automation whatsoever to affect their jobs or be a part of their jobs. They want everything to be done by humans. The president of the union local said he can recall the days when longshoremen unloaded 150-pound sacks of sugar by hand. He acknowledges that machinery has made the job easier, but he worries that the ports need fewer people to handle the equipment. But these people need to understand this is the way the world is going. Everything's going to be AI. Everything's going to be run by technology. We will see less and less people doing these jobs. That's just how it is. No matter how much you strike, it's not going to stop automation. So this is something absolutely crazy to strike over, and we can see that this is all pre-planned. This is all scripted. The people who are currently striking do not realize that they are going to lose their jobs, their current jobs, to people who are willing to do these jobs much, much less. We saw this back in the 80s when Reagan fired all those airline controllers when they were going on strike. No difference here. The only difference here is that there are more and more people that they are bringing over that are willing to do these jobs for much less. And at the same time, they will also introduce more and more automation where these jobs will be 100% automated. While this whole script is going on, we here in the public, we here in the lower end, will pay dearly with our pockets. We always do when anything goes wrong with the economy. But in any case, I do want to hear from you. Please do comment in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.